All the homies, they know what I mean. Baby, let me show you how I lean. Like a cholo. Laid back, bouncing the curve. When we do a dance, so we do it like that.
Hey guys, so I'm here with Laura. We have seen each other here at Gold's Gym a few times, but we've never actually spoken until the Olympia weekend. We happened to be at the same pool party. After a few shots of Jameson, we're basically best friends. That's usually what happens, right? So, yeah, Laura, where are you from originally?
Originally Canada, then Tennessee.
Okay. She has a crazy story, guys. We're gonna share that at the very end, though, because her journey, if it doesn't inspire you to get up off your fucking ass, nothing will. So we're gonna talk to Laura at the end of this workout, but we're gonna go through her training protocol with Chris Lewis, Psycho Fitness. I actually trained with him last year, so I know how crazy his workouts are. I'm a little nervous for two reasons. A, because it's Psycho Fitness, but B, I just got my hair straightened and I can't pull it back in a ponytail. So it's the Brazilian blowout, so you can't even like clip it or pin it or anything. So my hair is gonna look like this the entire workout. So we'll get through it, but here we go. This might be the struggle with her and I. Height.
Yeah.
How tall are you?
6'1".
Just casual 6'1". I'm 5'3", so adjusting is probably going to be our struggle.
Yeah.
Where do you want it at?
Let's move it to just like that. It's perfect. Let's give it a shot.
Okay, so while she's holding, Chris has this technique where he wants you to get really all that blood flow into the muscle immediately. So he has a holding technique that he makes us hold for 40 seconds, the first rep, and then 15 hold. Oh, and then 15 reps. Got it. So it's a giant set of 15 reps, but 40-second holds in between.
That's not as bad as curls. The curls with... Alright.
So 40 seconds.
40 seconds. Exciting.
Exciting stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, holding something for 40 seconds is a lot harder than... Oh, there it goes. Okay, okay, 15, okay.
Just wait for the second one.
Yeah. Oh, I can imagine.
Ready?
Yep.
You got this. It feels so long, doesn't it?
Oh my god. If I'm crying, it's not from the pain, it's from the chemicals in my hair getting in my
Every girl's answer in the gym. If I'm crying, it's from my lash glue. That's very Gold's Gym Venice right there. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 15. This is the length of a bad children's song. You know, like when they make you sing while you brush your teeth? Baby shark, do-do-do-do-do. Mama shark, do-do-do-do-do. Daddy shark, do-do-do-do-do. Yeah, that's actually pretty good. That's about 40 seconds. Yeah. Yeah, but I managed the bar for a really long time, and one of the reasons I stopped starting was my time frame. Home at 3:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Brad was waking up to have his first meal of the day.
Yeah.
So our schedules were off. What you got?
30. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh my god. That is a walking cramp. That is no, just standing here. here. I have like such a huge pump on my hamstring. Oh my god, this is gonna hurt.
I know. They're bad. We've got another round. I was just thinking, I don't know if I can go up to another. I don't know if I can go up another plate with these.
Oh my god.
Okay, here you go. 10, 9, 8, 7,
I feel like I can't even
6, 5. Hold it. 2, 1. 15.
Oh my god, this hurts worse.
I know. You got it.
Baby shark doo 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 doo, baby shark doo 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 doo, mama shark doo 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 doo, baby shark.
Mama shark doo 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 doo. Mama shark doo doo.
It's like the worst 40 seconds I've never seen so long in my life than these sets. So, when I moved away from home, I didn't gain the freshman 15. I gained the freshman damn near 40 pounds. And it was from binge drinking. Just got kicked. Binge drinking, getting out of a club at 3 a.m., going to McDonald's, getting a Big Mac with fries and a Coke, thinking I was eating healthy by having like a Jamba Juice smoothie and an oatmeal, but didn't know I was eating 80 grams of sugar and 60 grams of carbs per shake. It was like a disaster. So what I thought was healthy was not healthy at all. Gained a shit ton of weight. And it wasn't until I came back home to visit my family that some of my family members, like, they don't sugarcoat anything. They're like, what happened to you? Like, what's going on? And I was like, what do you mean? I was like in denial about it. And then I realized I didn't fit into any of my clothes. I got depressed. I gained more weight. And it wasn't until I wanted change that I started doing it. It didn't matter what people said about me. It didn't matter that my family noticed it. I came across a magazine from Muscle and Fitness Hers. It was a cookie cutter 8-week transformation challenge, and I lost close to 30 pounds in that 8-week process. Just my diet. Just eating my diet, doing a little bit of cardio. I had no idea what I was doing in the gym. This was like 8 years ago. I think I YouTubed shoulder day, and the first person that came up was Dana Lynn Bailey.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, oh my god, this girl's shoulders, like, I was hooked. But it was picking up that magazine and doing that 8-week cookie cutter bullshit that I was like, wait, so you're saying if I change my diet and I train?
It's crazy how people look at those things and don't realize that something in a magazine can be generic and seem like bullshit, but if you're not doing anything will make a difference. Yeah. I tell people that all the time. I'm like, I don't care what you do, just do something. Right. Get a little more sleep, a little less stress, a little more active, drink more water.
Honestly, that's the one thing I tell people. If you change nothing,
add water.
If you change nothing in your diet, your exercise, for the first week alone, just drink a gallon of water a day and see what your body flushes out.
And I mean, for us, if we start skipping I find that if I skip my water, suddenly I'm like, what is wrong with me? Why do I look so fucking fat? Or like, why do I look so gross? Yeah. And then I add my water back in and my skin is clearer, my eyes are brighter, my body is slimmer, everything just works better. And it's such an easy fix that people don't even think about.
And I know, it sucks. Drinking a gallon of water a day isn't the most fun thing in the world, but if you're getting chronic headaches, it's probably one of the factors might be that you are dehydrated.
Especially if you're one of those people. Our society drinks so many diet drinks and this and that. Sub a couple of your coffees, a couple of your diet drinks, or just make a rule that every time you have one diet drink or a coffee, you have to have 2 glasses of water. Done. At least you're getting something more than usual. All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
Yep.
Yeah. It's both the worst and the best feeling. Not when you have good hair, but I don't know that life, so.
Oh, please. She's a professional model.
Yeah, but my hair always looks like this.
Okay.
You got it.
I'm being so girly right now. No, don't have it.
Kitty down low.
2, 3, 4. Is anyone else weird? I count my sets in sets of 5.
I do with leg press. If I have to do like 25, I'm like, okay, this is 5 sets of 5.
It'll go so much faster if you think it's
Once you
just
go
like cardio.
10, for me, once I go past 10, I'm like, I don't want to do these anymore.
I
Like,
can't count past 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay, we have to do lions now.
Get a ball forward in your mouth, girl. Bullshit, she not with me. She the type of chick in the club every week.
So, this is her coach. This is the asshole that has this program that we're doing today.
What are you doing? What does that mean? Asshole.
Yes, that is a sign that they throw up when you walk through.
Hey, donut.
Drop that kitty down. Just fitting on that body like wallpaper. I want it right now, not let it left, right. Girl, get it. Bring it right, chick. Hey, get it. Stop playing with it. That kitty good, I'm staying with it 100. Yeah, everything 100. I got a pit bull, make the kitty run from it. Give it that work. Playing with the kitty and it ain't got money long, my money long. You ain't worried about it, girl, you got your own, yeah. Independent. Drop it to the ground and get it. Kitty down.
All right, guys, that was our leg workout. A little intense. I didn't think I was gonna sweat this much. I was trying not to sweat, but this asshole put me through her workout, which is awesome. How long have you been working with Psycho?
We just started reworking together. Like, this is my first week back with him. So yeah, it's new. You're the first cam day together.
Oh, okay, good,
Yeah.
good. We still actually have more things to do, but Brad's turn to film is up next. We only have one Maya. We haven't duplicated Maya yet. So Brad's actually over there. Look at him stretching. Good boy. Look at that good boy. He's stretching. All right, team. So we just finished our workout. Maya had to exit out to film Brad, but I'm gonna sit here with Laura and ask her a few questions and let her tell you her story because it's absolutely amazing. And if this story doesn't make you believe in yourself, I honestly don't know what will. But you have to want it yourself. No one can do that for you. It's when you hit that point in your life where you're like, all right, I'm fucking ready, is when you start to change your mindset and change your lifestyle and just become an overall more positive human being, because it starts upstairs first before you can come in here and start changing yourself physically. A lot of people think that if they change themselves physically, they'll be happier just in their life in general. But if you don't change your mindset first and foremost, even coming in here is not gonna make you any happier. So Laura is actually a mindset coach, right? So she's gonna talk to you a little bit about that and about her story. So,
Hi guys, I am Laura, or the Iron Giantess on Instagram, and I am right now a bodybuilder and powerlifter and also a mindset coach. But I did not start there. I kind of started exactly the opposite. I grew up a chubby kid in a healthy family, and I learned all the rules of health. I learned what healthy meals were and how to be active and to go on hikes and do all these things. And I also learned that if I wanted to snack, I should do it secretly. So growing up, I was a huge snacker, but I was also a secret snacker, and it slowly turned into an issue. And then I went to college, and I didn't have my parents around to keep an eye on my health or to talk to me about health and fitness and things like that. And I stopped playing sports. And it all just kind of rolled into, like Steph was saying, the freshman 40 was more like the freshman 100. I was overweight in high school for sure. I was over 200 pounds. But I was also, when I got to college, pretty unhinged with my diet and not active at all. And I had a very, very skinny, tall boyfriend all through college. And I fed him very well, which meant I fed myself very well. And then I struggled with diets my whole life. I begged my parents, this is funny, but I begged my parents when I was 13 to let me go to fat camp. I saw it on TV, and these kids on MTV were loving their lives, and they were all fat, and they were all accepted and having a blast, and I was like, I want to do that. So I went to fat camp, and I had the greatest time of my life, and I learned how to play different sports, and I got super active, and I fell in love with fitness, and I learned all about what calories mean and what health is, and I was so enamored with it for about a month. And then I came home and I went back to normal. And then I went to college and I played sports, and at the beginning of the season I was always so into it and so healthy and so focused. Healthy for like a fat kid, but you know, I was focused on my health. And it always fell off. About a month in, I would lose my steam. And this happened, I kid you not, over and over and over. I had personal trainers in high school. I went to college, I did Jenny Craig. I did all of these things, and my weight just kept climbing. And my boyfriend and I broke up, and that really triggered for me a low moment because I was completely unattended. I was at home, and this habit that I developed of secret snacking or secret eating turned into a full-fledged, unchaperoned eating disorder where I was a binge eater. So I would go to the grocery store, and what might feed somebody for a week would feed me for the night. It was like a $90 grocery bill a night. That cake aisle, everybody jokes like, oh yeah, I went and bought a whole cake. No, I bought like 4 cakes and I ate them every night. And my worst was, even if I was being healthy, I would buy a whole bag of, you know, those like sour green grapes.
Yep.
Whole bag, going down. Like that's my favorite snack. So in college, at the end of college, my weight skyrocketed, and I had broken up with my boyfriend, and I went home and I got my annual at my dad's clinic, and they told me that I had hypothyroidism. I was on the edge of, I had serious hypothyroidism. I had for a couple of years. I was pre-diabetic, or on the edge, teetering on the edge of pre-diabetes. I had high blood pressure. I was dangerously high cholesterol. A lot of red flags. And they were pretty sure if I didn't get my health in order that I was heading down a road of at least medication for the rest of my life, if not, you know, heading towards an early grave, if I'm being honest. So they told me, you know, you gotta get things in order. And growing up, I never talked about my weight. I talked to my parents if I wanted to go somewhere or get a trainer or something like that, but my friends and things, they never thought it was an insecurity for me. I was stone cold. Never mentioned it. If you mentioned it, I laughed it off and thought you were ridiculous. Why would that matter? I can kick your ass. I was not interested in talking about my weight. You
got really good at it.
I got so good at it. I just deflected. No one ever mentioned my weight. It wasn't something to them that was discussed. And to me, it was constantly in the back of my head. First thing I thought when I walked in a room, first thing I thought when I sat in an airplane, first thing I thought, I had flights that I would say, you know, if there's a short connection and you're running down the terminal, I would just scream like to my parents, like, just leave me, I'll get the next one.
Oh,
like,
no.
It was bad. I was really unfit. I was taking the elevator to classes on the 2nd or 3rd floor. I was taking the bus to class 2 blocks away. I was not doing anything. And so I went home and my parents were telling me, you know, we've got to fix this. And I was on board. Of course I wanted to lose the weight. I've wanted to lose the weight my whole life. I was over 300 pounds. I was sitting at about 315 pounds. And most of it was not muscle, if we're being honest. And so I broached a topic with my parents that I had never broached before, because I kind of knew where they sat with it, and it was, I asked them if I could have weight loss surgery. And my mom is a is an avid researcher, and she said, you know, we'll support you in getting your health in order in whatever way. We know you've tried and tried and tried and it's never stuck, and if this is the way that you think will save you, then we support you in it, but you have to do your research. I've always been, if I wanted a dog, I had to do packets and packets of research. So I had to do my research, and I started to learn that if you get weight loss surgery, you have to change your whole life anyway. You have to eat a smaller, more healthy diet. Crazy small. Like, listen, I eat healthy, but I'm eating a whole damn salad. Like, I'm eating a bowl of salad. I am a quantity person. But
you're also 6 feet tall.
I'm also 6 feet tall.
Right.
I'm allowed to have a bowl of salad.
Exactly.
But like, after weight loss surgery, you're eating like a bird, and if you mess up, you can kill yourself.
Right.
And that scared the shit out of me. So I was like, okay, if I'm gonna pursue this route and see a doctor or anything like that, I hadn't even seen a doctor. I was just like, I could kill myself if I don't do this. And I know I don't have the willpower usually to do this. So what I'm going to do is break this goal into really small chunks. For 30 days, I need to just show myself that I can eat healthy and eat standard meals.
Yep.
No binging, no nothing. Just show yourself for 30 days. And I cleared out my fridge like I had a million times before.
Yeah.
You know, you always dump all the delicious food.
Yeah.
But this time I didn't clear it by eating it, which is a step in the right direction. I cleared it out, and I was like, okay, well, if I'm gonna eat healthy, I might as well exercise. And I have done this my whole life, but I opened my computer and I popped on a YouTube video, and sometimes it's Zumba and sometimes it's like some Tabata or something weird. So I turned it on and I was like, who's the most badass chick I know right now? And I flipped on Jillian Michaels, and I was like, okay, 10 minutes, like I got this. And I flipped on her video, and holy shit. Like, I still think that video is hard, but I started it and I kid you not, like 2 minutes in, and I was panting, dripping sweat, lying on the floor, just like I had a million times before. I've done that. Turned it on, done a couple seconds, realized, hell no, this is not for me, and laid down on the floor. But this time, instead of being like, screw this, and shutting my computer, I just hit the pause button.
Good.
And I sat down, and I was like lying there, and I knew I was gonna quit. I was about to quit, and then I was like, you know, you're not actually tired anymore. Like, you could probably, you could probably keep going. And I stood back up and I hit the play button, and it took me, I'm not even joking, like maybe 30 minutes to an hour to get through the whole 10-minute video.
But you got it.
But I got it. And that was a huge moment for me, because I am such a person who goes full steam ahead and then closes the computer.
Do you think that was one of the biggest turning points for you? Or what would you say the biggest turning point was?
Getting through that video, I made a deal with myself that if I could get through that video in one straight shot, I'd join a gym.
Okay.
So that week, I was eating really well. I was eating a ton of food. Like, I lived down the street from a sashimi grade market. Ooh. And so I was like, okay, I'll just take like 4 steaks of ahi. Yeah. And I was eating like a bougie bitch, but I was eating a lot of food, but it was all healthy.
Right.
And totally different than what I was eating before. So I was eating healthy, and I was doing this Jillian Michaels video 1 time a day, as long as it took. I just had to get through 10 minutes. And at the end, it took me like 4 days, and I got through the whole video. And I remember sitting there thinking, you stupid bitch, you almost quit, and it took you 4 days. It just took 4 days. And that was a big moment for me. It was like, every day if I started over and if I had quit, I wouldn't have finished this video.
Right.
And that was a trigger point for me. And instead of like sitting down and thinking, wow, you did this video, I stood up, didn't take the bus, walked to my school gym, enrolled, and I spent 5 days in that gym, or 5 hours in that gym that day.
Wow.
And I did everything, because I went to those camps, and I grew up with the boys, and I played like football jokingly, and I knew how to work out.
Right.
But I never felt okay in a gym. I always felt like I was a spectacle. So I went in there, I put my headphones in, and I was in for 5 hours, and I just touched everything. Like, I used every piece of equipment I wanted to use, and I didn't give a shit. Like, get out of my way.
Right.
And I did that nonstop for 30 days. I didn't even take a rest day, which, I mean, looking back, it was like 5 hours a day for, you know.
Yeah.
It was a lot, but I fell madly in love with it, and my music and just being invisible. And I trained my ass off for, several months, clean eating, and I started to see results so fast. And I dropped about 120 pounds in a year.
That's fucking nuts.
Yeah, and I was like avidly powerlifting, avidly bodybuilding, and I just fell in love with the lifestyle, and it became all of who I was. It became fitness, they always say like it absorbs you. For a while, you can't see anything but it. And so that's what I was doing. And it's definitely been a roller coaster over the last 4 years, but I've been at about the same weight. I've gone through bulking and cutting phases, but really what's shifted for me is my mindset.
Yeah.
When I started, every single day I was so scared that the next day I'd quit. That it would be...
That'd be the day.
This is the best it's going to be, and you're going to quit tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I started to realize that some days you do quit. Like some days at noon, you're on the ball, and at 6 p.m. you quit. And you drop the ball, and you binge, or you don't go to the gym, or you make up an excuse, and that day is a wash. And the old me would have just walked away and said, you're a failure, this isn't for you.
Right.
And what I learned through bodybuilding was every single day I walk in the gym and I do something I'm not supposed to do, or I lift something I can't quite lift.
Right.
And that changed me. The fact that my passion is something that I can't do yet, that I'll be able to maybe do tomorrow,
right,
changed everything about who I am. And it changed my coaching. I'm a teacher. And so one of the major reasons I wanted to lose weight wasn't just because I had my parents worried about me. It was because growing up, nobody talked about my weight except kids. Kids are the first ones to tell you, yeah, you're fat.
Yeah, they're honest,
and
right?
You're like, and if you're the person controlling the narrative of that and you don't want people talking about it, and a kid walks up and says, hey, you're really fat, it shakes you to your core, because you can't deny that. That's just honest. And I remember thinking that fat was the worst thing you could be. Now I don't think that at all. Now I think that's ludicrous. Health is so important to me, but I also think who you are is fine.
Right.
But at the time,
doesn't want to leave you.
Yeah.
It's because we smell like crap right now.
I know, there's like them buzzing.
Sorry, they're literally like, I can hear them around my head and then around her.
Shit,
yeah,
if we're being honest. But yeah, I was gonna be a teacher, and I thought
that scared you.
Well, it wasn't that I was gonna be fat and they were gonna tell me. It was that being heavy is the most physical, obvious form of undiscipline. And I was about to tell kids how to be good people. Right. And what to do and what they should value. And I knew that to do that, I had to be a good role model. And I knew that the most visible form of being a role model was being healthy. Not buff, not a bodybuilder, healthy. And practicing what you preach. And it actually changed my entire career, because when I was in the classroom, I was the teacher who those kids, they trusted me because I kicked my own ass every day when I left that room. And when I was with them and I told them they could do something, they believed it. And you know, at the beginning of the year, the kids were bringing in donuts for parties. And by the end of the year, if I have a bag of snap peas on my desk as a snack, by the end of the year, 8 of those kids are eating snap peas. Or if I am saying our brain break, where we take a break, is that we're all gonna do 20 squats, instead of moaning and groaning, they're all excited. And I learned that what I'm passionate about, they would be passionate about. And I needed to be a good example, and that changed my whole life. Just wanting to be a good example changed my whole life. And it changed my career, for sure.
That's fucking nuts.
Yeah.
Where were you at your heaviest?
I sat at about 315, but I didn't step on a scale until I was 315. So it could have been
somewhere around there, right?
There.
Okay, and then how long before did you have your skin removal surgery?
So I lost the weight in a year.
Okay. So 120, you lost 120?
Yeah, I lost 120, and then I stayed at within the same weight, bulking and cutting, for about 3 years. So this is my 4.5-year mark. And I had my surgery in June. So June would have been 4 years. Okay. So 3 years at the same weight, same passion. I was so scared when I had that surgery that I was gonna, they tell you like you have this surgery and you're not gonna go back to the gym.
Right.
For 6 weeks. And that was the scariest thing, because that was the first time someone's ever told me I'm not allowed to go to the gym for a certain amount of time.
Right.
And I was like, I'm gonna fall out of love with it. I'm not gonna be back.
Yep.
It's gonna be all over. I'm gonna gain all the weight back. And first day I was allowed back in there. I was back in there. And he's like, take it easy. And I was like, yeah. And I'm like, deadlifting PRs?
Oh my God, no, you did not.
I did. I hit 415.
Do not do what she did.
I did 415 for that day. Because I was like, let's go.
Oh,
I also took like 6 hits of pre-workout.
Wait, hold on. Also, was this the first summer where you wore a bikini and felt fucking awesome? Because, hold on, time out. I actually did not know that you had skin removal surgery. And we met a month ago now in Vegas at a pool party, and she was fucking rocking it. Like, she walked in, I was like, oh my God. A, I wish I was that tall. B, her body is banging. Like, I would have not known.
She's wasted.
No, C, she is plastered out of her mind. I need to be best friends with her.
All of those.
Yeah, all of the things.
I've actually been a weirdo about my body my whole life.
Okay.
Like, I'm always nude. I'm like,
oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm like pretty comfortable with just I change in public places. The only thing for me about my body that was a real hang up was that loose skin. And actually I was talking, this is kind of like TMI, but I was talking to my friend about this the other day. It's when I was like seeing men or dating somebody, I always felt like you don't know when to tell them you were overweight.
Right.
Because one, not necessary.
Right.
But when you have that loose skin, it's like, that's when it all clicks. And that's like, you're in a bathing suit or, I mean, you're naked.
Right, yeah.
And they're like, okay, there's a story here. And
right.
you're like, so either you have to have told them or you feel like you're lying this whole time. And so it always to me felt like this weird deception. Like, I'm not gonna walk around with my loose skin over my pants.
Right.
But at the same time, it changes who people think I am. People are totally different with me at first. They always think I'm this like steely bitch, you know? And like, she's just tall and she's blah, 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 and they don't know my story. And then it's crazy how different people are when they realize I was overweight.
Yeah.
How different they approach me and my friendliness and things like that. It's suddenly a totally different person to them. And with men, it was the opposite. Like, I'm this super hot girl, and then, she used to be overweight. She's probably damaged.
Oh.
And so that was really annoying.
Do you have like a weird story on that?
I have
the
a
one that
couple
you'd want to
weird,
share?
I have a couple weird stories, but more so it's just my personal hangups, and it's usually not them at all.
Yeah.
They're usually right. I am a little damaged because they can't assume when I check, they can't tell when I check in the mirror whether I think I'm 300 pounds that day or whether I think, because that's real. People talk about that all the time, but I can catch myself in the mirror, especially in a room filled with gorgeous women, and some days I'm like, I'm doing great, and some days I'm like, you are 300 pounds and you need to sit down. And it's that's like why I'm so passionate about the mindset coaching, because I've seen clients in those same spots where their insecurities are red flags, and it's like, how do you get through that?
Right.
And yeah, it's definitely made dating interesting for me because I don't know how much of that to bring into my relationships.
Got it. Are you single right now? That's a question that we're going to get asked on YouTube.
I am stone cold single, but it's
guys.
But it's very much, I am not that fun today. I am like, unless you want to go to the gym every day and meal prep and then like not drink alcohol with me, but be at bars. Like, it's really, I don't know. We could play some flag football. Yeah.
See, that actually sounds like an ideal relationship for most meatheads in here. So be careful what you wish for.
Okay. Well, my phone number is.
I think her story, especially being in the arena that she's in with kids, changing her mindset and being able to show kids that it all starts with believing in yourself and being a good role model. Because like she said, how is she going to, I don't know if you guys can see me with this glare, turn around with her. How are you going to teach something and preach something if you're not doing it yourself? So I think that's one of the biggest things that I tell my students this too, is we sometimes teach best what we need to learn most.
Yeah.
And that is what makes great coaches, great mentors, is sometimes you teach things that you need to learn most, but those are the things that you're most passionate about, and it comes out. So that's why these kids see her as such a great role model, because she's so passionate about teaching and teaching mindset and being a positive light in these kids' lives. So thank you so much for sharing your story.
Thank you for letting me talk and talk and talk.
No. She almost took up all my SD card here. But yeah, so where can they find you at?
You can find me online on Instagram at The Iron Giantess. You can find me on Facebook, same thing. YouTube, same thing. Or if you're just looking for one spot to find me at, theirongiantesslife.com. I'm right there. Sweet. Or just shoot me an email at Gmail.
Okay, guys. Well, that's it. That does it for us. Till next time, make sure to follow her and her story, because she's going to continue kicking ass. And I'm so happy that I talked to her drunk ass at Wet Republic. And just to touch on what she said, I didn't know your story up until, it was probably like a little before Wet Republic.
Yeah.
And it was weird. I was looking for someone in the gym and I went to the Gold's Gym Instagram page and went to
we all
tagged.
do.
I was like, all right, I need to find this person. And then I saw your page. And I was like, okay. Clicked on you. I was like, holy shit. I actually thought when she walks in here, she's business. Like, she is headphones on. And like most of us, people tell me all the time, like, oh, I saw you at Gold's, but I didn't want to say anything because you looked really focused, aka resting bitch face.
Yep.
So I didn't want to bug her at all, but I've seen her in here and we'll like say hi and whatever. But when I had no idea about her story. I just saw her as like, damn, this girl's tall. She's fucking kicking ass. Like, her body's banging. And then I went on her page and you're also, fuck, we have so much to cover. You model. You model.
I do, sort of.
Sort of.
I'm working on like being like, yeah, I model.
Yeah. Well, that's a fucking, going from where you were to where you are at today. Like, that's not to say that people shouldn't, aspire to lose 120 pounds just so they can become a model, because that's not how it happened for you. Yeah. It was more about the mindset portion of it. But the fact that you are now doing that for a living.
It's definitely an unexpected and unanticipated turn.
Shit happens when you move to LA. Just move to LA.
I'm telling you, my two pieces of advice are: one, start every day as a new day, and two, you are one decision away every single day, every single moment from changing your entire life. If you are brave enough, do not operate out of fear. If you are brave enough, you can do anything. You really can. Just wake up tomorrow and decide you want it, and it is
boom. That's it.
Easy.
That's it. That's the money. Wake up tomorrow and decide that you want to be happy. Decide that you want to be positive. People ask me all the time, like, how do you stay motivated? How are you so positive? I'm like, motherfucker, I'm not positive all the time. I have to wake up in the morning and to decide to come into the gym, decide to be a happier human being, decide not to let little things bother me, because it's very easy to get triggered and have, the binge session, feel sorry for yourself and go into that negative mind space. But if you wake up and decide and choose to be happy, because that's all you can control. You can only control your own feelings and your own thoughts. So why not make it a positive one?
Yeah.
But yeah, that was our workout. Thank you so much. Make sure to follow Laura. We're gonna do a quick snippet, which you're, by this point, already have seen. But yeah, follow her, because her story is amazing. And if it doesn't motivate you,
yeah, the Iron Giantess on Instagram. I'm not even going to explain that. Sounds like I have a giant fetish, but I don't. I'm just really tall.
Okay, that's it. All right, guys, catch you next time.